So if we're evaluating quarterback, he checks every box. He's the right size. This guy is Matt Ryan. He's going to be a great player for the next 10 years. I think he'll be somewhere around the 12th best quarterback in the league overall. And if I'm the Giants, and you talk about a risk, you pass on Fernando Mendoza, you may regret that for the next 10 years. Think about the teams that passed on Justin Herbert. How did that work out for them?
Last time I checked, they got a Jaxson Dart.
Right, and I like Jaxson Dart. But here, if Mike Kafka was sitting right here and say, what do you really think of Jaxson Dart? Look at last week. They're playing Minnesota. Mike Kafka has an opportunity of a lifetime, be the head coach of the Giants. They threw the ball 13 times. If he believed in Jaxson Dart more, Brian, I think they would have thrown the ball more.
Maybe they're protecting Jaxson Dart and they don't want him to run.
Here's my favorite part. Let me just say my favorite part of the Tannenbaum's argument. The first play he brings up is a play where a quarterback got hit. I'm not sure if anybody remembers. Jaxson Dart gets hit like that weekly. Right. He gets airlifted around the sideline and comes running right back in, takes another snap, and then goes to throw the ball. So here's my question. I'm excited that you're excited about toughness in the QB position. People are asking, including myself, Jaxson, stop being this tough. I don't want you to get hit like this. Like it's not a badge of honor to get smoked like that on the sideline. You are high already on the Christmas day. I shouldn't do eggnog because you've had the eggnog. There was some outside, and you tipped it up. You and Jerry back down in Dallas. No, sir. You help Jaxson Dart by getting other players. Trade down, put some bodies around him that helps you win. This dude. We're talking him off the ledge, and you're going to go replace him this has nothing to do with Mendoza. I'm not even getting into that. But you already got a quarterback in the building with Scattaboo and with Malik Neighbors.
And they love Jaxson.
Yeah.
They love Jaxson Dart.
I like Jaxson Dart. He could be a B.
They love Jaxson Dart.
Okay, I think he could be a B. But why would you pass on an A when if you lose to the Raiders, you're likely on the clock, and you have a guy, think about the durability and production of Matt Ryan for a decade. Jaxson Dart, we already saw the limitations of where he may be physically, which is a big part of evaluating the quarterback position, which is he could be productive.
With all due respect, how do we know that Fernando Mendoza is an A? Do we know he's an A in the NFL?
Again, I just took you through the process of what teams are going to ask for. Can he make big throws? Can he make people around him better? Can he elevate against better competition? We saw that they had not won a championship since 1967.
I agree with that part. He's definitely a guy, but like against Oregon and against Ohio State, right? They had one touchdown and one interception each. Heisman, all of those things are all fantastic. But you moving on when you've already got the three pieces in New York.
But how do you know
you're going to bring more chaos?
But the definition of great. What has Jaxson Dart shown you to say that he's certainly going to be a franchise?
Two of the best players on his offense, man. His offense,
Jeff, the definition of being a franchise quarterback is to make those around you better. The guy that you were with for all those years, did Peyton Manning care who was out there? He made those receivers
No, my
better.
back is sore from carrying Manning for 14 years.
That's right.
I can tell you, I'm still sore. So we got to help him. That's why I was there. That's what we got to get for Dart. Help him, man. Don't get rid of him. Help him. Come on, Mike.
There would be no Manning cast without just that.
Exactly. There'd be one Manning. He was in New York for all those years.
Just saying.
Wouldn't even know about it.
Exactly. No commercials.
Give me an opening statement.
We have witnessed a Hall of Fame career from Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce, and tonight could be his last game in Kansas City, the final time that he appears on that playing field in front of those Chiefs fans. A great send-off. It'll be their chance to salute him in what has been a lost season for the Chiefs, but this could be Kelce's send-off tonight.
Unrestricted free agent at the end of the season. What do you think, KC? We talked about maybe rebuilding next season. Should they bring him back?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if he wants to come back, I love this guy. And for his career to end this way, without Mahomes on the field, would be devastating for me. I love Kelce, what he's done and what he's been for the Chiefs. I don't care if he comes back for one game next year. Catch a pass from Mahomes and walk that thing off. Put your cleats and gloves at the 50-yard line. This dude's earned it. Hall of Fame, like Schefter said. Total respect for his game and the passion he plays with.
Okay, Jeff, give me your opening statement.
I'm going keeping George Pickens in Dallas. You think about Dallas. Listen, the whole Micah Parsons debacle that started this season, it has been an embarrassment for the Cowboys, but they have recovered somewhat, right? They got some good defensive players, but make no mistake, having Lamb and Pickens on each side is a massive build for their quarterback and for their offense. And so when you're talking about what Dak Prescott looks like the next few years, having Pickens in the building makes him a different player. That's a big pickup.
What do you think?
I totally agree. And if I was talking to George Pickens, I'd say, look at Cincinnati. Jamar Chase got paid a little bit more than T. Higgins, but now they're almost unstoppable when they're healthy. We could be the same with C.D. Lamb and George Pickens because of their size and their athleticism. So I would try to recruit him, get him at a little bit of a club-friendly deal so we could go attack the defense with the rest of the
So not franchise him? You're not saying franchise?
I'm getting the deal done. He's too talented, too productive.
Really?
Ooh. You know, because the past few weeks, a number of Cowboy fans, naming myself, been like, where's George Pickens?
Right.
I need to see the George Pickens I saw the first 6-7 games.
Tannenbaum's great at spending other people's money. Don't worry. If it was his money, he would not be saying it. This is TV Tannenbaum. TV Tannenbaum.
I would
right?
absolutely. I like guys that can score points.
Have you heard anything from Dallas on what their thoughts are about?
Well, they want to keep him. The question is, do you franchise him? Do you sign him to the long-term deal? What's the way you work it out? But I think it would be a surprise if he wasn't in Dallas next season. The question is, in what form? George Pickens, certainly they can use a strong finish here from George Pickens. It'd be nice for him to make a big statement to them in the final 2 games to give them something to remember him by.
Yeah,
okay.
great point.
Give me an opening statement.
All right, guys. The Detroit Lions should trade Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of my favorite players in the
Wow.
NFL.
Serious? Holy.
To Jaxson Dart.
You know what?
Jaxson Dart.
They should fire Rex. That's why he's getting Rex off the desk.
Yep.
He's going to be the Monday guy.
Yep.
Holy mackerel.
I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, but if you could trade him to Denver for one of their pass rushers like Jonathan Cooper, I would do it. Look, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph have been hurt. That's hurt them. But for them to get to where they want to go, they need another edge rusher opposite Aiden Hutchinson. They got Jamin Williamson.
Hold on.
They got a whole bunch of other offensive weapons. They need another defensive front seven.
The heart
pressure.
and
That's what-
soul of their team.
We want to win. But
Let's just dig out the heart and soul and take it out and trade it away.
what have they accomplished in the postseason? Their defense has let them down. It's
Hold
a
on.
hard decision.
You know what?
It's the right one.
Teams have to give themselves a chance to keep knocking on that. What did the Buffalo Bills accomplish?
Right.
What did the Baltimore Ravens accomplish?
Right.
What did the Bengals do? They could go trade their heart and soul too.
Yeah.
You don't
This
trade
guy.
Amon-Ra.
This guy. Oh, my
He's
word.
one of my favorite players.
Santa, don't listen to anything Tannenbaum says. He
Oh,
does not
Tannenbaum!
understand.
Oh, Tannenbaum!
We're trying to win a championship. We got to make hard decisions.
Oh my word!
Wow.
No chance.
That is-
This to me is like if the Steelers got rid of Hines Ward and his prime.
Yes.
Like really?
Yes.
Like this is the toughest dude on your team. He dang near blows his ankle
Yeah.
out. He comes back the next week and balls. Like you don't. Those dudes in the locker room are worth so much more than any production numbers. He is the guy that everybody gels around. And what do you think Jared Goff's going to think? You send that guy off and away to Denver Broncos to bring in a pass rusher. Jared Goff probably going to retire. He's like, you know what? Y'all don't care about winning. I'm gone. No, sir. No, sir.
Where'd you come up with this from?
Mike, listen, this is as crazy as the Dallas Cowboys trading Michael Parsons. You know what I mean?
No, it's crazy.
But no, I'm just kidding. It happens. So I can see what you're saying.
Pass rushers have been traded last couple of years. Khalil Mack, Michael it happens.
It's time for Believe It or Not. Mike T, Saquon Barkley will torch the Bills in an Eagles win. Believe it or not.
I say not, Brian. Let me tell you why. I think this is going to be Josh Allen in the second half. I think they wear down Philadelphia. This game script's going to be very similar to what we saw 2 weeks ago, taking nothing away from the greatness of Saquon Barkley. This is going to be Josh Allen, especially in the second half. They're going to play keep away from the Eagles.
By the way, Jacksonville just took down the Broncos, Jeff. So are Broncos closer to one and done than a Super Bowl run? Believe it or not.
Not. It's a very good football team. Probably one of the best, or if not the best defense in the NFL. Look, Bo Nix didn't play his best game against those Jacksonville Jaguars, right? He had some errors. He didn't make some throws. And their defense, look, Trevor Lawrence played a great game against their defense, but I don't think that happens again and repeats. Don't discount a great season because of one bad game.
And if Denver wins its next 2 games, it has home field advantage.
Yes, exactly.
Good point. Mike T, Brock Purdy being slept on. Believe it or not.
Absolutely believe it. This team hasn't punted in the month of December, and they're going to get Ricky Pearsall back. So this offense is humming. I think that it's really interesting. Jeff brought this up earlier. If they went out they don't have to leave their stadium all the way through the Super Bowl. So they're absolutely being underrated right now.
You know, the interesting thing about them, they're averaging, 34 points per game. I think the last 5 games, especially in this winning streak here, outscoring opponents by like 16 points. I mean, offensively, they've been on a roll.
And let's keep in mind, they're missing Fred Warner. They're missing Nick Bosa. They're missing Mikael Williams. They're missing really
Pearsall,
good defensive players. Ricky Pearsall hasn't played much at all this year. There's a lot of teams that have a lot of injuries. There aren't any teams that have more injuries than the 49ers that have overcome that much to be in the spot they're in today.
It's such a great point. Like to sit in the seat they're sitting in, when you think about their 3 most important players miss significant time, right? Warner, Bosa, who we know aren't coming back, and their starting quarterback, Brock Purdy, who's now one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. They won these games with Mac Jones, right? The one player who stayed healthy is Christian McCaffrey, which, typically he misses a game or 2. This has been a phenomenal job by Kyle Shanahan, like coach of the year type job that he's done in San Fran.
And like the Broncos, if they beat the Bears on Sunday night and they win the regular season finale, 2 tough matchups, I don't know if they can win both, but if they do, they are the 1 seed in the NFC.
That's unbelievable.
And another name we haven't talked about at all, Brandon Ayuk. Didn't play all year.
Oh, that's right.
Another name.
That's exactly right.
Their resiliency is unbelievable.
Given all of that, what do you think is the Bears' key to success then?
Running the ball on them.
Absolutely.
That is San Fran's Achilles heel. Like when you think about, and that's a shock, and rushing the passer. Like those 2 things San Fran doesn't do well. But Ben Johnson needs to come into this stadium understanding physicality against this team will open up everything in the background. And so lay the hammer, run the ball, interior runs, some big plays on the outside, and then let the play action pass with Caleb Williams take advantage of explosive plays. But run to go take advantage of the weakness of Salah's defense.
I've heard you in the past talk a lot about Caleb. Do you think he finds success against that Niners defense?
I don't. Look, and I'm really encouraged how well he's playing. Those throws he made last week were unbelievable, like throws of the year, 2 of them, one to beat cover 0, the other one, this one right here. You're throwing that ball, Brian, on anticipation with incredible accuracy with an unblocked rusher in your, like, that is, to me, maybe the best throw we've seen in years. And with everything on the line to an undrafted free agent, and then next throw here, the game winner, unbelievable. I mean, again, 50 yards in the air, throws it where it's either it's a touchdown or incompletion because a turnover ends the game.
By the way, throws it and puts his hands in his just knew it was a dime that Moore's going to come down with.
So that's why I'm encouraged. His completion percentage, though, is 31st overall. That has to get better. I expect it will get better because of the reps.
Hold on a second. This is GM style right here, right? This is how they do. This is how they knock your number down, right? Instead of paying you $50 million, this goes to $48 million because he gets you in the room and then starts playing Jedi mind tricks. His completion rate is down a bit. He's also taken significantly less sacks. Why? Because he's throwing the ball away. Now, he has not been accurate. I give you that. Not always the most accurate, especially the little shorter intermediate throws. But the completion percentage, you want it down from because you don't hold the ball. Like he's not killing drives by taking sacks. He's throwing it away, living to play the next play. That is a massive step in the right direction. He just don't want to pay him full freight. That's the bottom line.
What stands out to you in this game? Because you talked about the number of injuries. Hey, George Kittle, let's not forget, he got a little banged up in that last game.
They're holding out hope that he's going to be able to play. He didn't practice yesterday, has got a low-grade ankle sprain. George Kittle, one of those guys that you just think will be out there when the game is on the line, even if he is not at full strength. And, again, that's a big addition if they can get him back.
This was a dirty deal on the schedule for them, man. Monday night in Indy, you talked about this morning. I mean, they played a Monday night game, then they're flying out, and the Bears got two extra days. The
Bears played last Saturday.
That's right.
The Niners played on the road Monday night in Indy, got back to the Bay Area early Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
So they're working on a short. I can tell you this, they're aware of that scheduling advantage for Chicago.
If Chicago wins this game, though, you talk about the definition of a franchise quarterback. Go on the road against a quality opponent. Great opportunity for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams.
And what was it? The most comebacks in the fourth quarter down with 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Chicago beating Peyton Manning, because Peyton Manning had 5. He's already got 6. Halo in the Bears. What they've done. We'll see what happens there. Once again, eliminated from the playoffs, second straight year.
The degenerate beside me's already bet it, dog. He got better odds. He was at plus 700 when I gave it to him a minute ago. He's already been on he drove the number down for our viewers. Way to go, Mike T.
So we're looking at 4,500 yards passing, 30 touchdowns. Has my boys wasted another prime year for Dak Prescott? So we said this at the beginning of the season. You might remember that. We said as long as Dak Prescott is healthy, Cowboys should win, make the playoffs, and he didn't.
No, absolutely. Here's the thing for Dak. Offensively, because I heard him say, he doing his part. He's done his part, man. Like, he's done his part. The problem is the debacle with the Micah Parsons trade early in the season set them so far back. Now, again, they've recovered for the future, but it was too little too late for this season. So as I look at this is a disappointment for Dak Prescott in that offense.
Yeah, I think the Parsons thing really needs some more context, which is if you had traded him earlier in the offseason, first of all, you may have gotten more because all teams have more cap room and draft choices, but you would have had time to make a plan, or you could have waited till the trade deadline and got maybe 7-8 weeks of production out of arguably the best pass rusher outside of Myles Garrett. So to me, they trade him at the absolute worst time possible.
Amen.
And I think when you think about their offense, they're fine. They got to keep Pickens, franchise, maybe extend him. I would let Javonte Williams go. He had a really good year, but they need to invest everything in this defense. And, it was a tragedy, but Marshawn Nealon passed away. Like, he was another good young player that they lost, which obviously was an awful tragedy. But to me, they have to address another pressure player and at least one, maybe 2 corners.
What do you think in the offseason?
Well, I think that the defense began to show signs of improvement later in the year. They brought in Logan Wilson from Cincinnati. They brought in Quinnen Williams, and they did get better, and they'll continue to get better, and they've got added draft capital to get better. But they still have to find ways to dramatically improve that defense after it let it down this season.
Okay.
And the problem is they went up and then regressed, right? Like at some point you have to build, you got to stack. And that's been the part that I was disappointed. Because to your point, I think the trade part with Kenny Clark and with Williams, they're loaded in the middle. Unless Overshown coming back with
right.
Like, they got the front 7. It's getting that back portion picked up. And whether that's Bland getting healthy or Diggs, they have got to fix the back end. Look, in the NFL, we throw it way too much to have your corner, your liability be your defensive backs. They got to figure that portion.
Right. As a Cowboy fan, if Trey Hendrickson doesn't get franchised in Cincinnati, that's a day one sign because he's a force multiplier. Not only has he been incredibly productive, he's one of those guys because he gets so many double teams, he'll make like the Donovan as a rock who's better. So to me, like if I'm Dallas, like I know that hasn't been their MO the last couple of years, but be aggressive. Go get a guy like him who's a difference maker at pass rush.
And get some young studs, especially at the corner position. They need corners in the worst way. All right.